Hey everyone, this is my first time making a book review video. The book I currently finished is 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. There are two types of copy, I believe. There are the big comeback one and the three spirit editions. I bought a spirit copy where its cover has a little moon on the side. When you combine them together, it will become one big moon. It is quite lovely when you put down the book so you could see the moon on the side. So my Japanese literature journey started back when I was in my seventh semester at university. At the time, I took Japanese translation subject. Then my lecturer suggested some Japanese literature to read and analyze. I read some of Murakami's novels, but not many though. So we move on to the book. Let's start from the characterization. So started from the characterization of the female lead, Aomami. I think so far is way better than any other female characters that Murakami wrote. Y'all know what I mean when many people find him controversial for his work. Some say he is a perverted dude who writes about women's breasts in so much detail. I could not disagree with that. Yet, of course, I enjoy reading his book because of the writing style and the uniqueness of the plot, especially in 1Q84. The way every single detail is connected to each other leaves me in awe. And also, even though he used multiple POVs in 1Q84, the book is so organized and well made. I read some of multiple POVs book before, and so far this is so well written. This is so well written. And I read some of Murakami's work too, like Sputnik Sweetheart, Norwegian Wood, and Men Without Women. For the Norwegian Wood, don't judge me, but I hate that book. I didn't finish it because it was so boring and plain. Sputnik Sweetheart is pretty good, but not good enough. Men Without Women is interesting, but this one though. This one is crazy. It's like when you play an FPS game, you keep wondering what will happen next and continue to connect the missing pieces. So let's start from the first book. So at the beginning of the book, the lead female character Amami started to feel weird after she heard the jazz music Genetic Sinfonietta, if I'm not mispronounce it, in a taxi while moving towards the toll road. In some parts of the book, Murakami also mentioned this particular song is played. In my opinion, jazz music played a part as a psychological trigger to the character, both unconsciously and consciously. So, started when Awami didn't realize she was jumped and moved into the new world, then ended with her listening to Janacek while pregnant with Tengo, Tengo's baby. The song has so many meanings: fear, confusion, sadness, happiness, and many more. I think Murakami wants to describe how a single song can have so many different meanings and feelings in different situations, of course. Just the same as what he mentioned in Men Without Women book, if you guys read it too, in the part yesterday. At the end of the short story, he mentioned that music has the power to vive memories, sometimes so intensely that they hurt. And it's the same as if you play a happy birthday song in different situations. If you hear it by someone you love singing that while you're sitting with a birthday cake, you'll feel happy. In contrast, if you hear a happy birthday song on your birthday while someone you love is dying, you'll have mixed feelings. You don't know how to be happy or sad. Thus, it becomes confusing and it will still forever be in your memories. The story itself, I think, also resembles the duration of the song. There are many events happening, many instruments played, and many emotions felt. Then everything was coming to an end as the song ends. The same goes from the book. And then back to the characterization. I discussed with my friend about Almami's face in the book. He asked me about my opinion of her characterization. He asked me what I think about her expression description. So Murakami keeps mentioning Aomame hiding her face because she doesn't want people to get scared or intimidated by her expressionless face. So in here, I think it's just Murakami's intention to highlight that Aomami is a strong woman who hardly shows emotions towards others. And then as the story develops, we can see the character development in her, especially when we talk about feelings. She almost never cried in every situation. She always prioritized logical thinking over emotions. And then we can count actually how many times she cried in the book. I believe only when she lost her school friend, when her Polish friend died, and when she is pregnant with Temo's baby, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can tell me in the comment section if I miss a thing or two. And then that's on the second book. And then on the third book, her rationalization started to lose to her emotions. She has to meet Tengo no matter what happens, even though her feelings here are the dominant ones. Aomami still considers other possibilities and returns to her rationality. What I like about her character is that she doesn't lose her logic completely. Sometimes author refers women as a very emotional beings, which is because which is completely false. This part is what I think shows the most strength of her, not because she could easily kill someone or because she rarely cries, but because of her strength in controlling emotions. What I don't like about Indonesian novels, especially in romance, they mostly describe women as someone that very emotional. That's why I don't read any Indonesian romance novels because it is that bad. But don't get me wrong, there are maybe some good books out there that I haven't read yet. And moving on, the other thing that I noticed after reading Murakami's work, uh, 154, Norwegian Wood, Sputnik Sweetheart, Men Without Women, it seems he likes to pair younger guys with older women, especially you will notice it in Men Without Women, and he refers older women as more mature. He describes, but cheating a lot, but those older women cheating a lot on their husbands, while the younger women as their dates, not their wives. So while psychoanalyze this, I think it might be on some personal experience, or it might be just his own imagination of how women are, or maybe it's just how the society is, or maybe it's just something else. We don't know for the exact reason. And uh, in the 184, the male lead, Pengo, seems to be someone mediocre. But at the end of the story, his existence matters because Aomami still can't forget about him, so does he. I kept thinking, what if Aomami doesn't like him anymore? Is he still gonna be needed at the end of the story? Maybe, maybe not, since Aomami is so deeply in love with Tengo and he is too. The feelings are mutual, so that their connection becomes stronger, and that's why they could make a baby through Fuka Aries doppelganger, which is weird and interesting. And move on. The one character that still leaves me in question is the small guys, all small people whatsoever. Even at the end of the story, we still don't get the full explanation of the dead god, small guys, and the cult leader. We can come up with our own interpretations though. Again, I discussed the small guys with my friend, and he said since there are many of them, six maybe if I'm not mistaken. He thought it could be a representation of Murakami's mind or himself, and I think he is a genius. I kept wondering what the hell those small guys mean. Well, if it was mind representation, it makes sense, I guess. Uh, so overall, this book I would definitely read this again. It is like a nightmare wrapped beautifully, if I would summarize it. And I realized the style of most Japanese literature usually contains superstitions. I would rate this book 4.5 out of 5. It's good, but yeah, there are some things that are controversial, but it's a good book. It's a really good book. It's well written. So yeah, that was my review of this book. Hope you guys like it. Feel free to comment your thoughts about this book or any book recommendations. Thank you for watching this video and hope to see you in the next book review. Bye.